So today we have Scott's beautiful NB1, and we're going to be doing the entire bushing set on this car except for the diff and the motor mounts. This is Scott's beautiful NB1, has 90,000 miles on it. The car is 25 years old and the bushings are shot. The front left is now popping, so we've gotten under there, we've looked, and it is one of the bushings. So we're just going to go ahead and do front and rear, and we're going to do this on the cheap. We're going to do it how you guys are probably going to be doing it, in your driveway, in a pole barn, out in the cold. So stick with us today. I'm going to show you how to take a cheap ball joint press and get these bushings out. All right, these are the tools you're going to need to get this job done on the front side. I can't testify to the back, but it's pretty much similar. Obviously, you need something to clean everything with. So we have Awesome with our weed sprayer, and that's where I got it from. We have various shop towels. We have Big Impact. We have long pry bar. We have our morning coffee. Ball joint press. This is key to getting the entire job done. If you don't have this, you can use a C-clamp, but this makes life so much easier. You're going to need the big Tanya Harding. You're going to need your dead blow Tanya Harding. You're going to need needle nose channel locks, 21, 17, 17, and a 14. You're going to need your ratchet. And depending on what size sway bar link you have, this is a T5. So you're going to need that, 10 mil, same size in your sockets, same size in your smaller sockets, pry bar, and something that classifies as a long reach punch. Also, when we put this thing back together, we're going to use anti-seize, so that way next time we have to get in here, or someone has to get in here, they're not fighting rusty bolts. It's always good to use this. You're also going to need a cotter pin. Also, this is a messy, messy job. This stuff is very sticky, very tacky, so wear your mittens. How are we going to get this stuff out? Rather easily. Take this off, take this bolt off, and then the strut is now free. We can leave the top end. You don't need to do that. Once that's done, we're going to take this bolt right here. We're going to take it out. Then we're going to take this bolt out, and then this whole hub assembly will literally push right out. Also, take off your brake caliper, lay it off to the side. After that's out of the way, we're going to leave the hub and the upper together. We're going to take this nut off right here, and we're going to slide that bolt all the way forward, way up in there. And I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. What we're going to do is we're going to pry here, and then we're just going to beat this thing into submission all the way forward. Get in here, and we're just, as you can see, it's already pushing through. Yeah, there you go. All right, now, this is where it gets a little tricky. So this is a panel removal tool, and today, this thing classifies as a bolt removal tool. Just going to snake it in there. Move your washer forward. Once that's back in, put it on the back side of the bolt. Just push. That is it. That is all you need to do. You may have to flip it over. Now, as you can see, we have everything pretty much loose. This is now starting to rotate freely. And like I said, the hub is still with this, so we still have the hub on here, because I'm not trying to loosen that ball joint. My luck, I'll bust the thing. So now we're just going to work it, work it, work it. Now you're done. Slide this out, and then you'll rotate it. Let's see if I can give you guys a better view here of how we're going to do this. Just give her a nice little pull. Then kind of twist it down. And now she's free. Let's get these bushings pressed out. All right, so we have everything set up. We're going to use this here shortly, but I'm going to use another way on this one to show you that you can use simply a ball joint puller, put it in, make sure you don't catch your rubber bushing, and now we can just sit here and push this thing out. One reason to run poly, if you're just out on a back road letting it go and maybe even doing autocross or some track days, the reason to run these things is because the factory bushings will give you unwanted camber, which also relates to unwanted tire wear and losing grip. Are these instructions? Yep, don't need those either. Okay, now that we're back, we're ready to install the bushings. This is grease. This will help everything slide together, and when we put it back in the car, it'll keep things from squeaking. So we have a big old cup of it, which is good. I'm glad that Scott ordered that because most people only use what they get whenever they order the kit, and it's not enough. I'm going to be using a brush that you can get at AutoZone, Hobo Freight, Smiley's, or wherever you want to go to. These are real cheap, about $5. I do have bitch mittens, but let's go ahead and let's do this now. Go ahead, let's get lathered up here. The side, that way that's still where it needs to go. Kind of smudged in there a bunch. Don't be timid with this stuff. Use what you can, but I mean, don't like go overboard with it. Obviously, this all lubed up as well because you need it on the inside of this, which you really need to pack it in there nice. Get all this excess grease in these little grooves right here. I don't know how well we can see that there, but you see it has grooves inside. So let's get that all packed in there, because when we press this together, all this excess grease is going to come back out. So it is perfectly fine if you go overboard with this. I think the power is fixing to go out. That's not good. So we are expecting some pretty bad storms. We're not going to finish this today. We will come back in the morning and finish up the back, but I should have enough time to get the fronts done today. All greased up. And you should. That one went in nice and easy. Pretty sure. Yeah. And then just give her a nice little squeeze. Make sure everything comes out all right. Clean up your excess. Seems like we are just about fully seated. And we're in. Now this stuff is very sticky. I do advise you, kind of wipe all this stuff down when you're done. And as you can see, if you do it easy enough, you're not hurting anything. You're not scarring anything. This is poly. If you damage the poly, now you're going to have a problem. So try your hardest not to damage it. Be easy with it. Just, take your time again, and you'll get this right. We are now ready. As soon as my hands dry here, we are now ready to do the upper control arm, which same process. This is very easy. There we go. Done. That easy. Now, let's reinstall this back into the car, and then let's move to the passenger side, and then we'll work on the rear. All right, welcome back, and this is where we are at now. We have upper installed, we have lower installed, we have sway bar link, and then lastly, I still need to put the cotter pin in there. Please do not forget to do that. It takes just a few seconds, even if it is the old one. Unfortunately, just put one in there, put something in there. But this thing right here will need an alignment when we're done. I've tried to line it up as best as I can with the marks that I had placed earlier, but they're not perfect, and I already knew it needed alignment prior to this. So, all right, now we're back. We've got the shop blowtorch going on here. It's a lot colder than it was yesterday, and as you can see, we have this bolt, this bolt, this bolt for the upper. Now we can do this before or after, first, second, doesn't matter. Then after that, we're going to do this bolt down here. Then we have this bolt back there. Then we You have this long bolt here, and then this bolt. Now, you may have trouble with this bolt here because it's welded on this side, inside the A-arm. If you do, you're going to have to get a pair of needle nose, reach in from the bottom right up in there, hold it, and then do it. You can actually take this out, re-weld it, put it back together. No big deal. Also, end link's going to have to come off. So once we get the end links off, then we're going to start with the upper. I want to get the upper done. That way I can leave the hub in the car with the brake. Again, less we disturb, the better off we are. And plus we have the axle back here. So let's get started. Let's get this off. The tools you're going to need are the same as the fronts, except you're going to need, obviously, 17s and 14s back here. I think there is a 19. I think that's 19 right there. All right, so we have the upper control arm in, and as you can see, we have an alignment problem. I don't get it. Why? Mint. Now, the way to correct this, and you need to do this before you take the lower off, because when we're done, again, we're taking the car to get it realigned, right? Now, watch this. So we're going to loosen the lower camber bolts, and then once those are loose, now we're just going to rotate this thing right on in back. Well, I said that. There we go. That should be it right there. Now we should be able to push this in. Get your Tanya. And then simply all we need to do now is exert enough force to go that way. Shouldn't be hard for somebody as little as me. So that right there, in a nutshell, is how to install bushings on the NA and NB chassis. Now, NC and ND, guys, it's pretty much similar. You can use pretty much the same kind of system that I have, and I can usually pull them off in about 5 to 6 hours, depending on whether or not I have to go get a bent bolt that is an hour and a half away. The car is very responsive. It's now feeling playful once again, which is a great thing because, again, that car is 20 plus years old, 25, and it's time to do them. A lot of you guys are still running the factory OE bushings from 1990, 95, 2000, 2006, 8, whatever. And it's a good thing to actually upgrade them to the poly bushings. A lot of people are going to sit there and say, oh, they squeak. Oh, this, oh, that. They're a lot of maintenance. No, really, they're not. The only thing you need to do is whenever you're cleaning your car, make sure spray off the grease down there. You can get in there with the pressure washer and just spray the dust off. You don't need to spend a lot of time worrying about when they're going to squeak. I've had mine on my car for around 3.5, 4 years now. Not one time have I heard a squeak until recently. Now you can correct that with a turkey baster, pack it full of grease, shoot it up into the back side of the A-arm, and you're good. Just that easy. So at the end of the day, these things are going to outlive the car. I'm happy with it. Scott's happy with it. The car is going to be aligned tomorrow. And that's the end of it. It's just that simple. You guys can do this in your pole barn, in your garages like this, or even in your driveway or your garage attached to your house. My name's Damien, and I got some bald eagles to put together. It's going to be a long day.